Hopper Squad? Your boy Jesimein, and today we're going to be talking about my Ice Queen Moze build. Now, you guys saw in the intro how insane it is. The concept is basically have unlimited ammo plus unlimited grenades, and I'll explain why it works and how it works. So get into it. The first weapons I'm going to be using is the itchy gratifying laser exploder. The reason I chose to use the laser type AR is because I don't know if it's just how the game counts the ammo being gone down, but it doesn't empty out the clip as fast as a regular AR, so when you shoot it, you see it goes down super slow, which works super good with how the build synergizes getting your ammo back when you hit crits with your nades, and I'll explain that in a moment. So any variant of it, I chose radiation because radiation is one of my favorite elementals, and it's because it spreads it around. You see radiated enemies damage enemies around them, so it's just spreading CC damage across the room, so that's pretty much why I ran radiation. And my secondary is going to be the itchy flacker. Flacker is one of my favorite guns, if not my favorite gun for Moze in the game. It's just super strong already, and if you get a radiated one, you can just spread damage across the room just as easily, especially because the radius is ridiculous. So your other two weapons, whatever you pretty much want, but I mean, in reality, you're pretty much only using this laser exploder with this build, but the flacker is when you want to do like a big bursts of damage. So whenever a boss comes or something, so when I switch to that. Going into the shield that I'm using is going to be the Big Short Stopgap. It's one with super high capacity. And on shield break, you become immune to any damage taken for 5 seconds. So pretty much it's just a super bulky shield. I think it's one of the bulkiest shields you can get in the game. If not, I have a really bad roll. I've seen higher rolls, so I'm trying to farm for that. But I'll explain why I chose to go with the big shield capacity instead of anything else. So going into my class mod, nothing too fancy here. The only reason I have it pretty much because everybody can't really find, this is like the hardest thing to find God roll. I don't even know what a God roll one looks like, but this is God roll for me because I have assault rifle and shotgun damage, which goes perfectly for these two. So that's pretty much why I chose to get this one. And landing critical, it has a 25% chance to drop a micro grenade that explodes after a short time. And since I'm hitting so many crits, I'm dropping a lot of nades, so it's really good. Pretty much whatever class mod you're gonna go with. I would prefer that you do something that's gonna go towards blues. Your blue skill tree, anything in there is pretty much good. So yeah, going into the nade, this is where the build is really shining. The mitosis hex, all of the hex grenades are really good, but for some reason this ice one's 556% cryo efficiency, so I'm CCing everybody while damaging them, and it splits into 3 grenades in flight, and those 3 grenades are all dividers. So it's like shooting out, what is it, like, I don't know, like 12 beams or something like that. So as you can see, I can cover a room really fast by spamming these, and just to make it more OP, they home in on closest target. So you just throw them up in the air and they go down to the enemies. You don't even got to aim them, you just spam them things left and right, and they'll be able to go and cover wherever the nearest enemy is. So the cool thing about this is for every tick of damage that it does, it counts as a chance at a crit, and if it crits, obviously you can get that big damage, as well as being able just to proc all the things that she has, whether it's the health regen if you're running a more health based version, or whether it's just anything like, for example, when you get your magazine back, and I'll explain that as soon as we get there. And I went for the elemental projector deathless. It reserves all but 1 health, gives you 100% shield capacity, 25% shield recharge rate, -20 shield recharge delay. I get a longer downtime while I'm in Fight for Your Life, which is really good. And the other two are pretty much useless. But while suffering the elemental effect, increase your damage with the same element. So whenever I'm frozen, my nades just do that much more damage. So let me go so you can see real quick. You can see I have 40,000 shield, bro. I'm pretty much tanking. I don't need to really care about my health, even though it's at 1. But the cool thing is Moze gets an ability where my gun damage goes up the lower my health is, so you can see how much free gun damage I get on top of this nade build. So going into the build itself, how I ran it, you're going to want to start off with this red skill tree. You're going to have 1 in security bear, 5 in armored infantry. These 3 right here, armored infantry, thin line, and Vladov in, I forgot how to say that word. These 3 are gonna what's gonna give you this big chunk of shield. Really the important thing right here is probably gonna be this desperate measures. Moze's gun damage is decreased or increased depending on how low her health is. The lower health, the greater the increase. So being that you have this relic right here that always puts you at 1 health, you're gonna be at the maximum damage. So that's a free 50% damage always. So which is really good, right? You can't get any lower than 1 health, so that's really nice. And the fact that these 3 protect you from your 1 health is really good. I spec'd into security bear just so I can get down without wasting too much, just to be able to get force feedback. Whenever Moze scores a critical kill, her shields immediately begin recharging. The cool thing is your nades can crit kill. So going into the green, I had just one, which is just the free one. After I score a critical hit, I regenerate ammo for a few seconds, which is really cool. And if you couple that with fire in the Skagden, free damage, grizzled, obviously just the I only bought it just to go down one, be able to cover it. This is the most important part of the build right here, means of destruction. You can pretty much formulate your whole build around this alone, but the concept is whenever Moze deals splash damage, there is a chance to add ammo to her currently equipped weapons magazine with a smaller chance to return the grenade. So you have 10% chance for ammo, 6% chance for a grenade. The thing is when you throw one grenade, it splits into 3, and those 3 split into 2 beams that tick, I don't know, maybe like freaking 8 times a second. So those grenade and ammo chances basically shoot up to 100%. It feels like I never run out of ammo and I never run out of grenades as long as there's enemies. One grenade can bring you back up like 8 grenades. So obviously when you start throwing 2 and 3 and 4, your grenades stay up. So that's really, really good and really strong. Toward cross promotion, you want to have that just for splash damage spread. You want to have pull the holy pin. Super important because you get that crit damage and the chance to get a crit. So super important because this is what you need in order to proc means of destruction, while spamming the fact that you're going to have crits non-stop. You want to go down to why can't I carry out these grenades, just to have more grenades in your inventory. Pretty much self-explanatory. Explosive punctuation, you want to have this because it gives you extra skill cooldown for your mech whenever you are in a situation where you're about to die, especially when your shields are low. Hop in your mech and you'll be able to get your shield back and run away, get your shield back. And going down to short fuse, which is super strong with the laser assault rifle because remember, 1, you're spamming infinite ammo, and 2, you get a secondary explosion that gives you 75% of the gun's damage, and that secondary explosion counts as splash damage, which can also feed back into getting your nades. So it's really, really good, and it synergizes super, super well. So that's pretty much it, you guys, for the people who wanted to know. There is another version that you can definitely do. Like I have a radiation one I'm kind of working on. I want to see if I can make the damage go insane. This one's more so spammy. You just cover the whole room, and it does do a lot of damage over time because you're hitting everything on the map, and it slows down enemies and it kind of keeps them in their like respective areas. So it's really good for people like Flax to get a good focus on, because for some reason, I don't know what it is, I don't know if the slows necessarily makes them stand still for a little while, but for some reason when I spam it, it's like the enemies don't push. So it's super, super coverage. So they'll end up saying immune because you're doing so much cryo over and over and over, but I don't know how the game operates it or how it considers. I guess as soon as that cooldown's done, it just resets it anyways, and you're still getting your nades back. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. As far as the build, if you want to make it better, I would say if you can somehow, some way, maybe even get a mitosis hex that has fire. I feel like fire damage is really good. For some reason, it just, the nade itself shreds shields even if it's not electricity. So being able to burn that the flesh was going to do a lot more damage. The radiation one I'm still working with. It just has the one I have is just super low roll damage, so I don't know. We're gonna see. But this one actually spawns in 6 of them, so we'll look at it. I'll see how I work about it. But as far as all my testing so far, this 556% cryo efficiency is just ridiculous. I don't think it's meant to be spammed that much, but it works. The radius is crazy, and it just sits on the field and just destroys everything. So that's pretty much it, you guys. Let me know what you guys think. I know you guys are gonna ask, like, what is this tight skin you got on, bro? This is, I forgot what it's called. It's like wild teal or something, and it allows you to glow like the neon without your skin color changing. So it's pretty tight. So it's been real. Thank y'all for stopping by. Your boy is out.